Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today we are in my Sonnet Platinum Embroidery, and we are going to add a stippling around a quilt design. So let's go ahead and open up a blank canvas, and one of my favorite frames is the 200 by 200 quilter's hoop, so that's what we're going to use. And I am going to, I'm going to turn my grid back on. And I am going to go into the Create module. Actually, I'm going to go into Super Designs first and just grab a Super Design. And since I like animals, let's go ahead and get the tiger. And I'm going to apply it. So, we got the tiger on the screen. We could have a horse, we could have a wagon, a flower, whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a home, and we're going to cut it. We're going to go into Create. We're going to go into Quilt Block Wizard. And we're going to do Filled Quilt Block with Inner Embroidery. My hoop size is the 200 by 200. There is my line, so I'm just going to hit paste. The margin here is the space between the actual embroidery design and where the stippling is going to start. So I can turn it down and make it closer or farther away from the actual design. And there is your stippling. And there are many options here. If you go with the regular stippling, you can go with curved or you can go with straight. You can, I'll put that back on curved. You can set the gap. Let's go with a gap of 8. Okay, so it's farther between the stippling. And you can also do a running stitch versus a triple stitch. You can set your stitch length there. You can choose different fills. And again, you can set your gap between things. You can do squares. You can do diagonals. You can do parallels. You can do diamonds. You can change the angles of things, your types of stitches, and your stitch length, and all of those things can be played with. And then we have all of these things we can play with. So we got all these crosshatch fills. And we have motifs. So if we click on motif, and we have options here. And we could do, say, a bubble there. And we could actually use 2 motifs and make one really big and one really small, 2 different motifs, that one was 8. This one we're going to make 15. And this one we're going to leave 8. So there you have the bubble effect. And you can actually play with some of these things also. You can play with some spacing. You can play with some angles. So, lots of things there. Echo. Here again, you have options, and those options will change some of these things and how they look. Contour, shapes, same thing. Get in there and play. And when you're done, that's what it looks like. Now, there's a method to my madness. When I do these kinds of things, and I know that I'm using a 200 by 200 hoop, I generally, in that second screen that would have said 200 by 200, let's go back. So if I say quilt block here, and my line is still in the, so I can paste it, I would say maybe 180, and paste the lion, and let's go back, and we're just gonna do that. We have to make it so it's gonna fit in that frame so that when we export it, it's not gonna say it's too large or not in that hoop. So you need to set that back far enough so that you don't run into that problem. The other thing is, if you unclick that box for the line around my quilt block, let's see what that does. I'm just going to leave that gap there. Now, see what that did? It did not do that line around my quilt block. So, you have different options. The other thing is in that quilt block wizard, you have a filled inner shape. You have an outline inner shape. Get in there and play. But I know most people have been asking about this one on top. Outline quilt block, filled inner shape. Next. Next. So there's your filled inner shape. And if we did an outline of an inner shape, and then you could go ahead and just plop a embroidery in there. Okay, there's different things you can get to use and go in there and play. It doesn't hurt anything to play. Okay, so I hope you liked this video, and leave a comment, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you know the drill. Thanks, bye.